Hey guys, it's Mike here again with Viper Paranormal.
And Jay with RIP, Roanoke's Investigation of the Paranormal, and today we're going to give you some tips on how to use a full spectrum camera. Now, the type of pictures you're going to be taking all depend on the modification of the camera.
Now there are several ways to modify these full spectrum cameras. Generally what they do is they'll take a simple camera camcorder combination and do some adjustments to it so that these cameras can see infrared and UV light. Now here are a couple of the more common modifications. One of those modifications is going to allow you to see visible light, infrared light, and UV light all at the same time. Now one of the setbacks to this is you're actually having the visible light kind of overpower the infrared and UV, and on the other kind it's actually a visible light filter is added, and this is actually going to filter out all visible light, so the only thing you're going to be able to see is the infrared and the UV light, and it's going to make these two spectrums very easy to separate.
This particular camera I'm holding here is an SBP, and it will not block out any of the light. It will actually show all three forms of light, and it'll run you about $100. Now when you receive your camera in the mail, the first thing you're really going to want to do is read the directions.
Now generally when you purchase one of the full spectrum cameras, you're going to have a separate set of instructions that actually come with the camera, and these are going to tell you the settings that your camera needs to be on to capture great photographs. Now there's going to be a different setting for daytime and a different setting for nighttime, so make sure you familiarize yourself with those. Just take a few minutes to read the instruction manuals, and I promise it's going to make this go a lot easier.
Now when you're ready to start taking some photos, you're really going to need some better lighting.
Now if you're taking photographs at night, the built-in flash is just not going to cut it. You're going to need more powerful lighting than that, so here's what I suggest. If you are a paranormal investigator and you do shoot video with night vision, you're probably going to have an infrared light lying around, and I would recommend using one of these with this particular camera. We have a little setup here that we've actually got both of our lights rigged on. Now this is an ordinary flashlight. The cool thing about this is normal white lights actually put out infrared and UV light as well that you can use for your photographs. So generally what we do is we'll turn our flashlight on, we'll keep our flashlight on at all times, and then when we're ready to take photos, we're going to flip our infrared light on. So now we've got our infrared light and our UV lighting, and this is going to be enough lighting to take great pictures.
Now when using a full spectrum camera, just like any other camera, you're going to want to take more than one shot.
It's best to try to take 2, if not 3 shots of the exact same area for comparison shots. Now some cameras actually have a feature that's going to allow you to take 3 shots, one right after the other. The only problem is the flash is only going to fire once because it's not going to have enough time to recharge itself. So your best bet is to actually turn the flash off and use lighting from your flashlight and your infrared light. This is going to be best.
Now once you have your light set, you're going to want to use some proper techniques to take your photos.
Now when you're using a full spectrum camera, the camera is going to take a little longer to recognize the UV light, so you have to be very steady, otherwise you're going to come out with some blurry, unusable pictures. Here's what I recommend. If you have access to a tripod or a monopod, I would definitely suggest using one of those. If not, you want to make sure to brace yourself and hold the camera as steady as possible, even if you have to rest it on a table or something like that. Otherwise, if you're moving the camera around, you're going to get really blurry shots and they're going to be unusable.
Now shooting your photos before and while, you're going to really want to note out the areas that are going to be problem areas for you, like the reflective areas, like mirrors, windows, you know, the areas that are really going to make a problem for you with the matrixing.
Full spectrum photography can be very beneficial on any paranormal investigation as long as you're following these important steps and taking your time while taking the photos. Make sure you've got ample lighting. Never take photographs into windows, mirrors, things like that that will offer up chances for matrixing. Make sure that your camera is steady, and make sure to take at least 2 or 3 photos back to back to back. I want to thank you for watching our videos. Don't forget to check out our website, www.viperparanormal.com. Please comment, rate, share these videos, and don't forget to subscribe.